Hello, besties. How are you tonight? I'm excited to be talking about two of my favorite shows right now. We're gonna be talking about Vanderpump Rules and the Real Housewife of Miami. I want to start with Vanderpump Rules. Yes. I know they had a very bumpy ride last season. We know that COVID was part of the reason why last season didn't do as well. And this season is starting with the heat from the get go. And last night episode start with Tom Sandoval and Schwartz like trying to get people to work for them. And honestly, if you are going to interview people for a job, my recommendation to them is dress the part. I like Sandoval's style. I like his like very out there rock and roll vibe. But if you're interviewing somebody, at least make the effort to dress like you own a restaurant. Um, Swords, the bucket hat. We have talked about this before. Nobody looks good in it. Every time that I think of bucket hat, I think of Rena, and I do not want to be think about Rena while I'm watching Vanderpump Rules. It's the last thing that I want to think about. Honestly, in this process of getting people to work for them, they are trying to get people to work for the Daily Mail party, which is a great opportunity for them to showcase what Source and Sandy is all about. Um, I'm very confused. I'm very confused at the fact that they don't seem to be thinking as a team, especially in this episode. You know, they had gone through so much to get this restaurant up and running, and I still feel like there are missing parts. You know, they are missing parts in the process of creating this restaurant, and their investor even mentioned that to Lisa when they were having the party. While one of them was thinking, okay, I need to check the resume for experience, the other one was saying, I wanna hire somebody with personality. And maybe, just maybe, they should just join those ideas and find the right people, even if it's just for one night. Because allegedly, or that's what they make us think, that the people that they hired that night or that day are not necessarily the people they want, like in the long run, if they don't work well. They just wanted people to cover for the Daily Mail party. And honestly, if I'm running a business myself, which I have my own business before, I'm not looking for people for just one weekend. I want to make sure the people that I hire are people that I can trust. Literally, their names are the name of the restaurant, Source and Sandy. So I'm still confused. I don't know about you guys. As are they doing a good job at building this establishment together? I mean, does it make any sense to hire people just for one weekend and trying to find replacement if they don't work? I'm concerned for them, you guys. I was watching the episode and I'm thinking, obviously the restaurant is open now and it seems like it's doing really good. I want to go. That's one of my plans for this year, to go to Swords and Sandy's and bring you guys all the tea about it. I love Ariana, so my main goal is to just go there and hopefully I get to see her. But this process of creating the restaurant is giving me anxiety. Like, dudes, like, get your stuff together. I appreciate the Toms. The Toms, I love them. I think they are a great team. They have what Lisa said. They have that like spark, the social media power, that reach with the the youth and all the stuff that they have going on is true. I mean, if you follow the Instagrams, they do have a like a very trendy vibe to their post, and they know what to do. They know how to talk to people. That is a great quality, but it's not the only quality that you need to, to establish a name in hospitality. That's why that guy, the investor, I forgot his name right now, and I'm gonna have to look it up because I feel bad not mentioning his name. Um, he was concerned, telling Lisa like, "Hey, these guys have no idea about the actual business." And Lisa said like, "Well, you are taking care of them now. Those are your kids. Good luck with them." That is about that part. We still trying to get the vibe that Schwartz and Sandy is about on the show. Now we know the restaurant is up and running. It's doing great. It has a very trendy vibe. So it's kind of like that Instagram, picture worth it place. So if you have the chance to go, I would say go and have a drink. You can see the Toms there. I seen their Instagram post. Tom Sandoval is usually behind the bar a lot, which I'm happy because it's your business. You have to, you have to work for it, and they know that. They know how to work a place. They know how to walk into a place and own it. So it's great to see the process, but it's giving me freaking anxiety. Like I'm really rooting for them for this success in with the restaurant, because they have put money, and sadly Schwartz lost Katie because of how he put her in the back burner while working in the business. But we will talk about that one later, because I don't think that the restaurant is to blame for for the the falling of the marriage. We cannot just blame work for something that is not working at home. And talking about not working is Raquel's and Peter's awkward dates. On this episode, they go to this place, and when I'm saying it was the cringiest date I ever seen on that show, and that says a lot. That says a lot, because we had seen a lot of cringier dates on Vanderpump Rules over the past 10 years. But Raquel and Peter, man, I feel so bad for Peter, because you can tell that Raquel is still obsessed or thinking about James. And James is obsessed with Peter's penis, because James has not stopped talking about Peter's penis or balls the whole entire episode. Literally every time that he was on the screen, he was talking about it. But on this date, Raquel was talking about how she lost the last opportunity to be Miss California. And I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her because, when you have a dream, I'm the kind of person who supports people going after their dreams. Even if it's to be a pageant queen. That's fine. We all have different dreams. And I'm here for it. But if you watch that scene, and Raquel was trying so hard to cry, to have like this dramatic moment, it felt so forced, contrived. And like I said on Twitter, Raquel, I know you go to acting classes because all you guys are trying to be actors and stuff like that in Hollywood. Ask for your money back. Ask for your money back, because I was not buying what you were selling. I was not. You tried to cry, and the tears didn't run down your face. If anything, it looks like, I don't want to be mean, but it looks like you were trying to fart in the middle of the date instead of crying. I feel so bad for Peter. That guy has gone through ups and downs through this whole entire time, And I feel like he's the type of person who is always the bridesmaid and never the bride during this whole entire franchise. That guy has been used and abused for by pretty much everybody on that show. And I'm saying this, I mean, don't take it so like literally. I'm not saying that he's been, mentally or physically abused, and but you know what I'm saying. If you watch Vanderpump Rules, you know that that guy means well. That guy means well. He's always trying his best. It's like that. He's like the good guy. That good guy that it's trying his best. He tries and tries, and poor thing, he's never picked by any of these girls. He has gone pretty much on dates with pretty much everybody on that show except Ariana. But it just like crazy to me that the poor guy hasn't had his break. And when we see him on the screen, pretty much you feel like bad. I'm like, dude, like don't even try to be on the show anymore because I'm feeling like secondhand embarrassment for you, and it's not fair because the guy is not a bad guy. If anything, he's the most decent person on the show, and everybody else makes fun of him. That's how sad it is. Shout out to Raquel for, you know, mentioning that she wanted to be a pageant queen and for trying to cry. You did your best. um, and talking about actually crying, there was a scene with Lala and Katie. They went to the tanning salon, and there's nothing more embarrassing, I think, than having your tanning, whatever tanning lotion or whatever you use. I had never gotten fake tan. I used to go tanning to a tanning booth, but I never got spray tan, so I don't know how that works. But it seems like the spray tan was not all the way dry because Lala was crying and her face looked like she had this like long streak of like tears on her face, and they zoomed into her face. And when I said I freaking laughed out loud, that was the funniest thing. I actually screenshot it on my Twitter, so you can go ahead and check it out on my Twitter Martins with Eddie. It really sent me to a different galaxy. I like Lala, and I feel so bad for what she's going through. But this is my but. I kind of agree with Lisa Vanderpump and when she said that when somebody is showing you so many red flags, they doing you a favor. What that means is like, girl, pack your stuff and go when you realize that there was like stuff happening with Randall. And I mean, I want to be honest. I know I'm gonna sound very vain, but like Beyonce said, it was not the face. It was not the face. That guy has no neck. It's no neck, Randall. So you're not gonna tell me that Lala fell for the charm of Randall, because that was not what happened there. Lala was a young girl who probably saw Randall as like, okay, now I have my life set, for life. And that's fair. I'm not judging what she's doing. I don't care. I mean, if you have the opportunity to marry up, why not? I mean, you are setting yourself for life. But I think there was moments in previous seasons when you realize that Randall is not that good of a guy. Many times we were watching and kind of like thinking like, what the hell is this guy talking about? So I was not surprised. I honestly was not surprised when the whole entire thing like broke in the news and the media and everyone was talking about it, about the casting couch, and how I don't want to talk about it. I think it's problematic. So let's move on from that. But I do feel bad for Lala. I think Lala is the type of woman who wants the perfect ending, like wants that family, wants that perfect guy to come into her life and and just like be uh like like a housewife. Like I think she wants that. And she was trying to have that with Randall, and look what happened. And like one thing that I do agree with Lara too is like, out of all this mess, at least she has her daughter. That means that she doesn't regret everything, because she got something that she is fighting for. She said, like, like she's fighting for her daughter now. She's pushing everything that she's doing right now is doing it for her daughter, and I appreciate that. I don't like kids. I do not like kids. I don't want them. I I'm happy with not having one. I always tell people that's my self-care. That's how I keep my skin glowing, because I don't have the worry of taking care of a kid. But kudos to those who do. And Lala is one of those women that she truly likes the feeling of being a mother. And I'm 100% sure that she wants that feeling to also, have a husband. Even though she's saying that she is getting like digged down and all this stuff, and it's sounding like Erica Jane. Lala is having her Erica Jane era. Good for her. Go ahead and enjoy your life. Let's talk about Ariana and Sandoval's relationship just real quick. I love Ariana. Ariana is like my favorite, one of my favorite people in the Bravo universe. Like, I absolutely adore her. I met her at BravoCon. We sat down for like 3 hours in the middle of the night at a party in a rooftop. We were just sitting. It was Ariana and all her best friend um, was there, and Sandoval was coming in and out and like making sure that she was fine. It was a great way to bond with these people. That was during BravoCon, and I can relate to her when she said that her love language is quality time. I can relate with that, because the best way to keep a relationship young and fresh is always, be able to be open to new adventures together. And it seems like it happened with Katie and Schwartz. It's happening a little bit with Sandoval and Ariana. I don't think in the same level, because I do believe that Ariana and Tom Sandoval are a good match. Unlike Katie and Schwartz, I don't think they were a good match from the beginning. I do not believe so. I think uh, when they got divorced, or when they announced the divorce, I was one of the first people who said like, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I think we saw this coming. He never stood up for her, and I feel like at one point in that relationship journey, they just grew apart, and I honestly um I don't think they were meant to be together. That's my honest opinion. I think this Swartz and Katie are the type of people who are great people but not great for each other. Am I wrong to think that? I don't think so. I have a question right here that I want to share with everybody. I got a question. Where is Ariana originally from? Ariana is from Melbourne, Florida. That's where she's from. That's where she's from. Um, she is a Florida girl, but obviously she moved to LA trying to pursue like all like acting career and stuff like that. Like everybody else on the show, pretty much everybody from the show is the perfect example of people who were from small towns somewhere in America. Like we have Lala from Utah and Ariana from Florida. So they moved to LA because they were pursuing careers in the entertainment business. But that's where Ariana is from. And honestly, I do think that it's it's important to make sure that you continue feeding and watering your relationship. I appreciate the fact that Ariana is open to talk about that in a show where we had seen so many relationships just fall apart. Like on this season, we have Lala and Randall done. I'm happy for that. Lala deserves better than Randall. We have Katie and Sandoval. I mean, Katie and Schwartz. And honestly, Raquel and James. Now they are in different journeys. But talking about James, I feel like James, is it just me? I know he's doing fine with his girlfriend. I know that. They still together. They're still posting stuff on Twitter and whatever. I mean, on Instagram and trip and going on trips and stuff. But do you guys think that they are going to last? I don't know about that. I don't think James is ready for a relationship that it lasts longer than a few years. Or maybe he's the type of guy who is so obsessed with being with somebody that he says I love you way too quick, way too soon. You know? And that's why his relationship don't seem to be strong enough to last a long time. Because if you guys think about that too, he told Raquel that that was the love of his life, that he was gonna build a life together and all this stuff. And the same thing he told to Ali in less than a month, based on what they had said on the show. How can you tell me that in less than a month you say I love you to somebody and that person is the love of your life and you gotta and that's all you see and that's all you want? I question that, especially after being engaged. Like they just broke up an engagement, and a month later, James is like all like lovey-dovey with Ali. And yeah, he has all the right to be dating, but maybe he should slow down, like press the brake. It's okay to like take it one step at a time. I think that the fact that he was DJing, right? And he left the DJ booth to check on Ali because he saw that Raquel was coming in. And he has done that many times. It was not just one time. And like it said, are you concerned of what they will talk about? What's happening here? Another thing that I'm kind of cringing to is the fact that Schwartz keeps calling Katie Booba. Like, I'm like, dude, you guys are not a thing anymore. You guys are not married. You guys are not a relationship. You guys are not boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, stop calling her Booba. That was you guys' name when you guys were together, and it feels so weird to at least to me, that an ex calling the other ex by their nickname, it's just doesn't make any sense. Like, can you imagine if you're out and about with a date, you run into your ex and your ex call you like I don't know, apple pie, whatever your partner calls you, and how can you explain that to your date? Like, no, we just got divorced and he keeps calling me that. I'm like, what? I think I'm on Ariana on this. On the previous episode, she said like, if an ex call me like that, I'm gonna call the cops. It's true. I mean, keep your distance. Make sure that you are able to move forward, because Schwartz was telling Sheena that he doesn't even want to go on dates because he doesn't know if Katie's going on dates And Sheena's like, yeah, she is. And then Schwartz tried to explain the notebook in the way the only Schwartz can do. I do feel bad for the both of them because when they were sitting down and talking about how the relationship fell apart, Katie said, "You not only give me up for the business, you get me up in many things. Like this is not just the restaurant problem. This is more than that." And it seems like Swords is not getting it. I feel like he doesn't understand what he did wrong. And obviously Katie's telling him like, you didn't have my back. And Lisa was quick to tell Peter to stop, you know, dating Raquel. Because as you know, Lisa is she is wise. Her wisdom is crazy. And the fact that we were talking about this at the party, this is happening at that Daily Mail party where Katie and Swartz are talking, and then we see Raquel and Peter, and Lisa's like, you know that she is your, you are her boss, you are the person above her in at work, and that's not okay because the Me Too movement and all this stuff. We know better now, so you should know better. The poor guy got reprehended by his boss and then dumped by his date on the same date in within like an hour, because I'm guessing that happened while filming probably like an hour 2 hours. You know, like Lisa like, you need to stop looking or dating Raquel, and then Raquel's like, you know what, I kind of want to like break it up. Like I'm not interested anymore. And I'm like, poor Peter. Like I said before, that guy, it's like the bridesmaid of the show. He truly is the person who never gets the right, and I feel bad for that guy. I feel bad for Peter. Peter, once again, just don't try to date any of these girls on the show. Obviously, you're just like the rebound, or like you are too good for this girl. Like, dude, like stop. Yes, I'm gonna read this because I like this. Yes, I think Peter laughed at himself though. Like he knows what he's doing too. He's like, let me try to date one of these girls so maybe I can be on the show. Maybe I'm just happy to be here. I think that's Peter's mentality. I'm just happy to be here. Um, but oh my gosh, being dumped and reprehended by your boss and girlfriend on the same night must suck. Like honestly, imagine imagine the feeling of like, holy shit, how can I stop talking to this girl that I like because I was just told that I shouldn't be dating her because she is, I'm the manager, I'm the person above her at the restaurant. And then 5 minutes later, said girl comes to you and said, yeah, I'm tired. I'm not interested anymore. Thank you though. Whoops. During Watch What Happened Live, Lala and Katie were the guests. And by the way, they both looked beautiful last night. I think one thing that we can all agree is the ladies of Vanderpump Rules, they all just like beautiful women. They're just stunning. And to be honest, I was not expecting Lala's reaction um, when Andy asked her to talk about Sandoval. She literally looked into the camera and said, I did not get knocked up, and at the reunion, I'm coming for you. She's pissed. She said that because in a previous episode, Sandoval said that, like, she got knocked up, like, that's her fault. That's like, like, what's happening right now. She cannot just be blaming it on everybody else. That she should take some responsibility because she got knocked up. I understand where Sandoval is coming from, but you can say that a woman got knocked up when she actually wanted to get pregnant. You get knocked up by an accident, you know? And obviously, the Lala Randall, pregnancy situation was not just like an accident. I mean, they were already a couple when that happened. So, yeah, I honestly don't think that that was the right word to use, and I can see why Lala is pissed, but I can also see the sentiment behind what Sandoval said that on that episode. And I have a question here. How old is Peter? Based on what I seen online, he is 37 or 38. Hold on. He was born on June 14, 1984. That makes him 37. Yes, he will turn 38 this June. No, lying. I'm lying. He is 38. He will turn 39 this June. So, yeah, I'm trying to do the math, so follow me on this one. But, yeah, that was wild. That answer from Lala was wild. And now I'm really excited for the reunion because at least we are seeing a little bit of the, what the reunion is going to be all about. And I'm hoping that this time Lala is really activated because last season she had COVID or she was exposed to COVID. So she was on a screen and people were going after her and saying stuff. And it was hard. It was hard to kind of have that debate moment in that, like, really heated moment during a reunion. But I'm hoping that this time around Lala is present and she's activated. I like when Lala is activated. And like I said it before, I like everybody on this show. I'm not like trying to like see somebody like, oh, go after him or drag him or anything. I don't talk of the cast like that just because I do like each and one of them. I feel like I have seen them like grow up on the TV. Like I feel so connected with them because for the past 10 years of my life, we had seen them going from waiters and hosts and wanting to be actors and wanting to be singers and all this stuff. We have seen all this process to where they are right now, having adult issues, having marriages, divorce, scandals, and all the stuff that like you see in adult shows, quote unquote, like like Housewives and all these shows, but they still have the that fun young vibe that I connect with. Like I'm on the same age range that Sandoval, Schwartz, and Ariana, and all of them. We are in the same age range, like late 30s. So I appreciate that about them because even though they are in the late 30s, they still keep that young feeling that we got from since day one, since the season one. So I like that, and that's why I appreciate Vanderpump Rules. But we will leave it right there because that was the end for next episode. Okay, so let's move to Miami, which, by the way, is by far the best housewife franchise this year, and I'm happy that it's on Peacock. I want people to stop asking for Miami to be moved to Bravo. I want people to realize that the reason why Miami is working is because it's not under the Bravo budget. is under Peacock, and Peacock is putting all their eggs into that basket. So people out there, stop asking for that, because the moment that they move Miami to Bravo, it's gonna go to shit, because they have Beverly Hills to worry about, they have New Jersey to worry about, they have New York to worry about, they have Atlanta, they have Potomac, they have Salt Lake City, and look what's happening. Obviously, some franchises have like priority, you know, and when the other ones are not working, the budget gets smaller and we get shitty seasons. So I don't want that to happen to Miami. The girls are in the Bahamas right now, right? And they are having a great time. This whole situation with the stones and the herbs and the brujeria and all this stuff, I'm laughing because that is so typical of like the Latin culture. Like I was born in Spain, but half my family is Colombian, so I kind of understand where this whole conversation of like, oh, you got a rock that has energy and whatever, and we have brujas and all this stuff. It's so funny. I laugh every single time because I understand exactly what they're feeling. You know, um, the episode starts when Marysol arrives um to the Bahamas because she allegedly got exposed to COVID, maybe had COVID, so she needed to wait. I'm guessing that she needed to wait for the result of her test, and that's why she arrived late. But you can tell that Adriana was not happy about it because she was finally connecting with Alexia. And this fight between Alexia and Adriana and Marysol is becoming like constant. And it's driving me crazy. Both sides. I love all of them. I love uh, Adriana, I love Marysol, and I love Alexia. But it seems like at this point, they are starting to pick anything for them to like have an issue. Like now, Adriana revealed after like 5 years that Marysol's ex-boyfriend told her after maybe matching on a dating app or connecting through a dating app that she was not truly in love with Marysol. And I'm like, that was shitty to say. That was really sad to say to your friend. If you're trying to make amends with your friend, you don't bring this up because that's not the way to do it. You know, that is actually putting more fire, more gasoline into the fire and pushing that person away. Because, like they were saying on the show, I think it was Gertie, the one who said, if Adrienne is trying to bond or rebuild her friendship with Marysol and proving her loyalty to them, she didn't do it right. That's not how you do it, to be honest. And then Adriana revealed that she has 250 cholesterol, whatever that means. I mean, I kind of know what high cholesterol is because that runs my family. Sometimes it happens to me. But you are in the Bahamas. I don't think anyone wants to hear about cholesterol and strokes while having a good time in a vacation. I don't want to hear it. I'm on Alexia's side on this one. When Alexia said, like, hey, what are you doing? Like in that confessional, like Adriana talking about cholesterol in the Bahamas and talking about strokes when all I'm trying to do is lay by the beach and drink and have a good time. I don't care. And I totally get it. I get why Alexia reacted that way because I would have done the same thing. If I'm having a good time, I don't want to be thinking about you having a stroke. Maybe let's have a lunch when we get back home and talk about it. Am I right or wrong? I'm not sure. You guys tell me if I'm just being mean or or selfish, but if I'm on vacation, the last thing that I want to hear is about crazy issues in your life. Let's keep it fun. Let's keep it fun. Marysol has one of the funniest confessionals with Alexia. They were talking about, you know, the witchcraft and the stones, and Marysol is sitting on Alexia's lap. I don't know why I find that so funny, you guys. I find it looks kind of like a ventriloquist, or I don't know. It's the funniest thing. I appreciate that they were talking about like how Brazilians are like into witchcraft, and once again, I'm hoping that they stop doing these generalizations about people's like nationality, because Alexia has done it twice this season. She did it with Julia when she said like Russians are known for being prostitute, and then now she's like Brazilians are known for being into like witchcraft and stuff. And I mean, I love Alexia, but please don't stop saying that, because I don't know how she will feel if somebody said something like that about Cuban people. Like think about that. Like not everybody wants to be identified as like, oh, because you're a Brazilian, you're a witch, or because you're Russian, you might be a prostitute. I don't know. It doesn't sound like right. Am I right or wrong? Let me know. It's such generalization that I will not be playing with that, especially nowadays where you can take that as ignorant. And you know that they don't mean harm. You know they're not trying to uh to paint anybody like that. It comes out just like a little ignorant, you know. Once again, I know where they're coming from because I have family like that who have that like kind of like, oh, but I don't mean any harm. I'm not trying to be ignorant. It's just like that's the way that they grew up. And it's hard to unlearn things when you are older. It's hard to unlearn what it was like normal 20 years ago to say. You know, I have to unlearn many things as I got older, right? I grew up in the Abercrombie and Fitch era with like really problematic T-shirts and people using the words that now we know are ignorant and very offensive. So I can see how they might think in their head like, well, we're not saying anything wrong, you know. But yeah, using a whole nation, a whole nationality to stereotype their culture, it is a little problematic. That's just my opinion. And the funniest part is talking about the whole witchcraft and stuff. The Marisol. Marisol was doing the most with it too. She was doing the most. We watched that episode, and she every time that she spoke about the little crystals of the thing, it's like she was talking about this huge curse by, I don't know, like Dr. Nicole said, Voldemort. Oh my gosh. When she said like, I mean, Julia is this good person who rescue animals and has a farm, and you are telling me that she's like Voldemort, like putting her heads on you. That was really funny. One thing that Miami has though, and I appreciate that about these women, is that all of them, even though they have their ups and downs, they know how to like like bicker and just like poke fun of each other and laugh about it. And I'm hoping that they keep that energy because I don't want them to get into like Salt Lake City zone where everybody hates each other. I had said that before. Salt Lake City, I don't know how it's surviving when you can tell they hate each other. When they are together, you can sense that energy. And as a viewer, we watch it. We know that these women sitting across the table don't want to be together. On on the opposite, in Miami, you can tell that they can put that dramatic dramatic moments aside and have fun. When Julia called Alexia a barracuda, and they were all like trying to figure out if it was true, and they actually put a side by side picture, and like, the editors is doing the most. I love it. I love that it keeps the narrative moving, it keeps it fun, even in the heaviest moments. Because let's not forget that we're still talking about Lenny. Goddamn Lenny and his issues, and the fact that he wants to kick out Lisa from their home and making the most. I still don't get it. I still don't get why um, we even give him the opportunity to like be on the show. I feel so bad for Lisa and the way that she has to go through all this while filming a show. Luckily, she has her friends by her side to even make fun of her tacky home, because when they were having these issues on the table, she said like, I wish my problems were this. I wish my problems were like a year ago where they were nothing. And then Dr. Nicole said like your house being tacky. And Alexia said, yeah, the Chinese slippery floors, the tiles. I was laughing. And that's what makes Miami awesome. That's what makes Miami great. They all have good energy and good, chemistry, even when they're fighting. At the end of the episode, they're having this healer person, this girl, doing this whole entire process with them by the beach, and Kiki was feeling the whole vibe. I was like, I was watching. I was like, Kiki was really into it. She went in believing what was happening. She was crying, and it was like she had an exorcism or something going on. I was like, holy crap! I hope she doesn't have a stroke. But then Gertie and Kiki were playing around, and somehow they hurt Adriana's foot, and the drama ensued once again. Do I think she was in pain? I do believe so. I do believe she was in pain. Do I think she needed a wheelchair to be dragged around the next day? I don't know. It seems like a little too much. It was given um I don't know. It was not. I don't want to say that she was not in pain. That's all I want to say. That's all I'm going to say about it. And then she got carried around by the guy at the island. She was enjoying the fact that she didn't have to walk. And I say, on my next vacation, whoever is coming with me, be ready to carry me around because I'm already planning my fake injury. So be ready. Have a wheelchair ready, and have somebody to like, carry me in their bag and all the stuff. Because I'm not walking around. I just figured it out. Adriana was smart. She's like, I'm not walking. You guys are gonna push me around, and you guys are gonna carry me around. It doesn't hurt that much. I'm gonna just go piggyback on people's back, and I'm doing that. I'm just giving you a warning, friends. But when you think everything is going well, when you think that the group is finally having a good time, Adrian and Alexia once again go at it. And even though Whew, this part is hard because I'm still in shock. Even though the person who mentioned the food was Alexia, she said like an accident happened, and like stop acting like the victim. And then Adriana went ahead and said, you know, um, yeah, accident has consequences, like Frankie. And honestly, I felt so bad for Alexia in that moment because how how do you think you can bring up a accident that left Frankie, you know, dependent so much on people, something that Alexia is, you can tell that as a mother, she is, trying to be strong for Frankie and doing the best she can to make sure that he has an independent life. How can you compare that accident to a little bruise in your foot? That doesn't make any sense. It was hurtful, and I love Adriana, but in that moment, I was like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, stop talking. Like, you look awful by bringing up Frankie. That was below the belt. And I understand that Adriana feels like she's been neglected, that she's been like pushed to the side by the OGs or something like that. But that was too low. That was really freaking low. And I hope people like the girls. I hope the girls, the ladies, um, run and rub up and just support Alexia in this moment because it was completely unnecessary. It was completely, um, déclassé. You just don't do that, especially with such a very, I would say, touching or hurtful topic. Honestly, I hope we see a resolution on the next episode. I hope the conversation doesn't get any lower than this because at that point I was like that crossed a line that should have been crossed in the first place. Not even as an example, nothing. You just do not talk about anyone's kid like that, especially when you are comparing his struggle and his you know life to a simple bruised foot. And that's my opinion on the matter. And once again, I like them all. I like all the ladies of Miami. I'm excited with this franchise. um, I just don't want the chemistry that they have where they are able to put aside the drama and are able to have fun with each other to get ruined just because they want to try to have a moment where you say something that you can take back. And that's how things start going south. The show ended with a to be continued, so we will figure it out next week, and I'll be here talking about it, as you guys know. I just want to say thank you guys for listening tonight. Because, as you all know, I usually have my guest on Friday. I will let you know tomorrow who that person is. I want to keep it a surprise. But I'm very excited to see where Miami goes. I'm excited to see where Vanderpump Rules goes. As you guys know, this Sunday is the beginning of the Potomac reunion. It's also a new episode of Family Karma. You know that I'll be doing the recap for those. And we have a whole week. We have a whole week of Bravo with Summer House on Mondays. We have New Jersey on Tuesday. We have Vanderpumps on Wednesday. We have Miami on Thursday. And we are still waiting for the announcement of Orange County, the announcement for Ultimate Ghost Trip 3 that is supposed to be coming in March. So we have plenty Bravo to recap, and I appreciate you all, Bestie, for being here, for listening. And as I always say, if you enjoyed this podcast, if you enjoy my YouTube channel, go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. My podcast is on all platforms. You can find it anywhere you listen podcasts. I'm right there as Martinez with Eddie. Click the subscribe button. I recap pretty much every Bravo show. We have 2 recap episodes a week, and we have a guest appearance on Fridays. Also, if you want extra tea, you can find Martinez with Eddie on Twitter, and you can find it also on Instagram and my own website, martinezwitheddie.com. There's more to come. I'm building new social media platform that I'll be sharing with you guys on the next few episodes, where you can find more tea, more fun, and more Martinez with Eddie. And once again, you guys, thank you so much for listening tonight. And like I always say, every single time that we end an episode, here we go. Let's do it together, besties. Let's go. Let's do it together. Bye, besties.